back. Usama, welcome back to another. Are you live over here? I gotta share the invite. All right, and here's the invite.
Bam.
Right.
Okay.
Welcome to another edition of Boundaries and Brotherhood. My co-host, Miss Carrie Paluro. She's been on a hiatus,
I
finding
have.
her soul at the Grand Canyon. Got sick for a little while, but this is why we haven't been on. Family ties, sickness, and everything else going on. But I just wanted to say welcome her back to my friend that's been going all over the place. The last time she was somewhere. But today's topic, guys, today's topic is going to be why you're attracted to men who can't lead, right? Do you repeatedly find yourself trying to fix your partner or even the lack of finding a partner and unpack the psychological patterns that draw you to men who resist leadership or their lack of, like she put in her post, why are you dating men that can't even freaking lead a parade? At the end of this, guys, at the end of this, guys and girls, right? And this is for you men too that might be in slacking in that department. We're gonna identify certain fixer tendencies that she has, right? Understand the root causes of this. Why is this attraction is kind of like a red flag for you as a female, right? And develop new dating patterns to attract the type of man she has now enabled. Miss Carrie Paluro, welcome back. While I get us all set up technically, you do your thing. Do your thing. Here's my pigeon English coming out. Do your thing.
Thanks for having me back. Oh my God, I have missed you. And for those of you that don't know, I am a relationship and identity coach. I help high achieving women become the prize in love and in their life. Um, Man, this topic. Yeah. Why are you attracting men that don't know how to lead? Um, I love this topic. It's so good. But, you know, for me, for the longest time, like chaos felt familiar to me.
Oh,
So
really?
like men that don't lead were like they created the emotional distance of like that caregiver that I had. Do you know what I mean? So it just made
Yeah, absolutely.
sense.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
it was
So let
inconsistent. It was emotional distance. It was inconsistent. Um, and it just kind of recreated that relationship I had with a parent, with my parent or with my dad, when I was younger. So my nervous system just really thought that that anxiety was attraction. And so he felt like, so a man who couldn't lead me would feel like safe. I mean, not really, but it in my mind, because I had interpreted the anxiety for attraction, it felt, wait, I'm not going to say safe. I'm going to say familiar. That's the best word to use. It felt familiar.
that's
Home
I mean,
was chaos.
yeah,
Home was chaotic. And so anything that felt chaotic felt normal. That's all it was.
right. But the familiarity of that, the chaos and everything else that comes down, what's a red flag for both a male and a female? Because since if you haven't dealt with the trauma that you dealt with the past relationships and you're still a red flag going into these men that don't know how to lead or they think they can lead but they don't know how to lead, right? Like in your in your post, right? Overthinking as a response, romanticizing what he could be,
Hmm.
and actually relying on hopium versus
Opium?
fixing yourself, right? Right,
That was
hopium.
so good. I
Because
love that.
it's like you're falling for chemistry like it was what you put in your post. You're falling for chemistry like it was a spiritual sign instead of looking at it for what it is, a trauma response.
Mm.
Please, please hit on these three topics because for women, when you don't, if you can't recognize a good guy,
Hmm.
right? Like in your past and everything else, why is it that you know you find you repeatedly doing these things as a woman?
Because because it's familiar. I mean, I think that's the best explanation for it all. And not to make it right or wrong, because I think that especially for me, it had been I would judge myself based on these decisions I was making. Like, why
Oh,
can't I just pick the right guy? Why am I always constantly getting it wrong? Maybe it's just me. And it was just the interpretation that I had of um like
Oh.
how a man was supposed to show up for me. I like, and I thought I was supposed to do everything because I had seen my mother doing everything all the time, but it was only because my dad wasn't present. They had been divorced.
Mhm,
So I
mhm.
think you also like create these ideas of what relationship looks like, especially when you're in if you come from a divorced family. Like you
Okay.
create an
Yeah,
idea
absolutely.
of what you what you think relationships should look like, and it really doesn't have to look any particular way, to be honest, but we create these fantasies of what we
The
think they're
hopium.
supposed to look like.
The
Hopium. Oh my
fantasy, yeah.
God, dude, that's so great.
But let me ask, let me for a female that has been in that situation,
Mhm.
right? Past trauma, everything else that you haven't. Now that you're a woman that gets flowers for no reason, gets
Mhm.
plans made for her, right? Gets consistency without begging. How
Mhm.
do you become that person that you tell your clients?
Mm. You know,
Oh,
it's about,
once he goes, that's when you know a doozy's coming out.
it's about creating the relationship with myself.
Yes.
Um, that's really what it is. Because when I don't know who I am, then I can't expect anyone else to know who I am either. If I don't love me, then I can't expect anyone else to love me. So when I'm getting flowers, it's not because um, when I'm not getting flowers, because he doesn't think he needs to do anything to keep me. Like that's not necessarily a true. Um, a man who can't lead is a man who will give bare minimum energy, but it's because I'm giving bare minimum energy to myself. Do you know what I mean?
I was just about to
Um,
say.
yeah, so he's just reflecting how I'm showing up for me. So if he's not being a particular if he's not being a particular way, he is just reflecting how I am treating myself. So I think that's the easiest way for me to always see where I am in my relationship is how's he showing up for me?
Yeah,
Because if he and it also tells me so much about how I value myself. Like that
that's
is huge.
huge.
Yeah,
That is huge. Because if you don't value yourself, how do you expect anybody else to value you in your
exactly.
behaviors, in your situations, and everything else? This is what I tell and it comes down to a lot of different things because validation, outside validation, now you're only looking for validation from one person versus multiple people or
Mhm.
social media. Like Carrie was saying earlier, like I haven't seen Carrie in about 3 weeks, but it's like I miss my friend over there talking all these smack about other people and how we can change people's lives and stuff. Now you can keep being the cool girl, right?
Mhm.
And nothing gets done, or you can become the woman who gets everything. How would you direct? How would you be the orchestrator of that? What do you tell your clients?
That your standards have to match your identity. So what that means is if my
Yes.
identity is I am that strong, badass, independent, I don't need anything, I am gonna attract men who believe I don't. Do you know what I mean? And but when my identity shifts to like like the softness, I'm soft and powerful, right? But
Powerful, yes.
I desire like love and leadership and effort from a man, right? Then I will attract a man who responds to that, and I won't be attracting a man with the bare minimum because I'm not giving that attention. I'm not giving that energy.
Right. Is it delusional though? Is it delusional for women to change their standards? You know how you see all these shows about, they want this, you have this podcast over here, they're talking about all these things. Is it delusional for some women to hold on to certain standards because they kind of give and take? Or should they stick to their guns? Let's reverse this, okay? Miss Polero used to be that type of female, that type of woman. She embraced her softness. She knows how to give up. She knows how to let a man lead. How do you see the differences? Like, where was that aha moment for you where you caught Abel, right? And what do you tell your clients? Because that's the key. I mean, you got a lot of women over here watching this and men because they want to hear from somebody that's been down that road.
For me, the main thing that attracted me to him, and I think we've talked about this before, was when we were in that workshop together, and
Right.
he was so like the honesty and the transparency there of saying to me, "Hey, like I see you, and my experience of you is." Yes, you want to be in a relationship, but you don't know how to communicate your needs to a man. And
Oh,
you hide the ball. You hide the ball, and if the guy gets it
oh,
right, then you move the goalpost and nobody wins. Like you don't set anything up to win. I think for me, like that moment landed for me that, oh my God, I do not set relationships up to win because my belief is the man will always leave. And so if I set the relationship up to lose, then I'm already ready for it. You know what I mean?
right.
Like I'm already ready for it. So somebody seeing that and saying that to me, it really landed for me that, oh my God, why wouldn't I set the
That
relationship
was
up
the
to
aha
win?
moment.
It was a huge aha moment.
That's a
And I think
crazy.
another thing is, especially that's present with my clients, is how they always see, um, I'm trying to think of the best way to say this, of the man misbehaving, I guess you could say would be the best way of saying it. Um, they they internalize how they would behave. So anytime there's any kind of conflict, they internalize the way that they would behave as a female, and they
Okay.
expect that the man is going to behave that way, right? Like, so maybe they have a tendency to be catty, um,
Interesting.
or gossipy, or just, you know what, I just don't want to do this thing, right? And they expect the man to behave that way as well. And so if I always look through that lens that the man is misbehaving or doing it intentionally, right? That's just going to feed that um the story that I have that he can't show up for me, or that
Correct.
he won't
Correct.
show up for me. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to show up for me. So I am literally creating the relationship, period, at all times based on the lens that I have on. Like, what am I? And so then if I change the way that I'm showing up, and I'm begin to look through that lens of, oh my God, I want to set the relationship up to win. Oh my God, I want to be here for my partner. Like, how can I create like joy in their life or support them? And when I begin to look through that lens, because that's what I'm wanting to create for them, for
Mhm.
myself, for them, then how I look at them begins to change. I don't look at the things that they do with like contempt. Do you know what I mean? Like I used to look at every man in contempt. Like I would hold them in contempt. And so it was, if I would always, I had a mentor say that to me, as long as you hold every man in contempt, you will never have a good relationship, period.
Yeah,
Because you
because
always
there's
think they're out to
resentment.
get you in some way.
Yeah. You start holding resentment. You start holding grudges. You start holding a lot of different
Yeah.
things. And then from a guy's point of view, how do you expect me as a guy, right, to come out and be the best I can be if you're going to hold that resentment because that energy is coming out, right?
Mhm.
Then you're basically sabotaging the whole thing before you even got started,
100%. It's like,
right?
it's all me.
Now, when somebody told you that, what did you do to shift, or how long did it take you to kind of like move on from that aha?
Oh,
Because
it can still be a work in progress.
oh,
Uh,
of course,
It can
of
still be a
course.
work in progress. Well, I just got to dive a little bit deeper of like, where is it that I hold men in contempt, period. So I went back to, the relationship I had with my dad.
Uh-huh.
And, and actually we had such a great conversation during the holidays about this, because he saw a video that I made a comment about, like, oh my God, my dad is like my best friend. Like I love to share things with him. And
Hmm.
he's like, what do you think? What do you think changed our relationship? And I was like, well, I let go of like being angry,
Nice.
and this attachment of, I wanted him to be this dad, like the dad that I'd missed when I was 8 years old. Like he can never be that for me. We're not there anymore. And so like
Right,
letting
right,
go
right.
of letting go of that. And then what kind of relationship can we create now, as an adult, as me being the adult daughter, and I see so many women that are still stuck in with the wounded inner child is leading the way. The wounded
Oh,
inner child is the one
the
that's picking
wounded.
these men.
So if, oh, that is so deep. The wounded inner little girl is affecting her relationships with the standards, and she's also sabotaging why she can't find a man that leads because she can't even lead herself, is my interpretation.
Yes, 100%. Because imagine if
Ooh.
your 8-year-old wounded self was running your fucking life.
You remember that movie? I can hear what women talk or think. What did I come close to
Oh no,
something?
I don't remember the name. That's not the name,
With
but I know
Mel
what you're.
Gibson.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my
Let me
God.
ask you this one, right? So you became by doing so, by all these steps, right? You
Mhm.
became the woman, in your quote, you became the woman men rise for because you choose yourself, right?
Mhm.
When other women hear that, what is the old interpretation of that versus the new one?
I think the old interpretation is being selfish.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
is if I choose myself, then I'm being selfish. And we're taught that, being selfish is wrong. But I believe that being selfish is fucking 100% right because I get I get to create the relationship with myself and I get to become the person that I want to be in relationship with. So that's who I attract.
Correct, correct. Now, but me and Doc just did one about the other about being selfish because it's you have to be for your self care and your mental health. Now, when you're selfish in your relationships, that's where it's not going to work. What's the difference?
So prioritizing myself is not selfish because that's self-respect, right? Like
Different,
when I, right,
completely,
that's completely different. When I'm
completely.
choosing me, then my standards rise, my relationships will shift, my entire energy is like recalibrated and upgraded, and I believe that we were conditioned to be selfless, to like our own detriment. Do you know what I mean? Like we were taught, be nice, be agreeable, be humble, be low maintenance, be the easy one. And so we were taught to just like go with the flow and not say what we wanted and not communicate what we want or what we're looking for and not really essentially like lean into our own desires. And
Okay,
that is what kills attraction, right? Like if you think about it, like do you want to be with somebody who overgives or has to overprove? Um,
overproof,
you know what I
take.
mean?
You mean like
Like
it's not a it's like not a give and take no more. It's just a one side all the way like jamboree.
yeah, and it's kind of sad. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it
Like
is sad. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
sad. It's not attractive, but like and I know so many people disagree with this, but I always say like being selfish is being magnetic because
Well,
I'm getting turned on by my own life and I'm excited and
okay, I
it's
mean, here's the difference. When selfish is not a bad word,
right.
okay? Selfish is not a bad word. Self-respect, having boundaries. It's like we say, boundaries and brotherhood. You mean it's I'm being a brother to Miss Polero because me and her are connected that way. But at the same time, there's a misinterpretation because self-love. You know what I mean? Having those standards, having that drawing the line is out, being able to enjoy the life you have because where you came from, where you're not trying to get that outside validation. You're not trying to get those likes. You're not trying to put yourself out there for people that not going to reciprocate. Right? There's a
Correct.
big difference because you took accountability for your life at that moment and you just built everything up from there. Now, the topic that we talked about, right, is why are you attracted to men that can't lead though? Besides
Mm-hmm.
that baby girl trauma, what else that does that entail? Because men probably all want to be leaders. They want to puff out their chest. They want to think they're all that. They're the alpha, but actually, their alpha is just looking for outside validation again, right? So
Mm-hmm.
why do women, or what are the red flags in themselves from you, the top? You say because I'm pretty sure you have clients that go through this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
What
And
are some of the things, the real life stuff that you're seeing? The
well, I
juicy.
I know we talk about like the chaos feeling familiar, but this is the reality is calmness feels unsafe to them. Because when you grow up around the inconsistency and the instability and the
Oh,
distance, like your nervous system, that is why your nervous system mistakes the anxiety for attraction.
mm.
Um, because a man who can't lead feels like the familiar home that you grew up in. Not because he's good for you, but
You're
because
accustomed to it.
my body is like,
Yeah.
oh, and it's not safety. And a lot of times we think that it's the safety, but it's not safety at all. It's just that being in an anxious state is now our normal. And so being calm is like, whoa, that's unsafe. Like
Right.
I remember, I remember when I first really got into this work, and I had met a man who was very, very calm. And I was just like, oh yeah, this guy, for one, I'm like, he's boring as fuck. Like, like this dude is like totally boring. Like I yeah, I'm absolutely not interested in you, right? Because my body wanted that high of like, like that high and the roller coaster. That was like the normal. That was the
Right.
normal.
Right. But let me ask you this. When you see these men that's having EQ, emotional intelligence, and have their shit together, right? Is
Mhm.
that attracted or do you resonate that as boring? Or depending on what stage you are in life compared to that?
Well, for me today, I'm like, oh my God, I think it's attractive as fuck. Emotional intelligence is leadership,
Absolutely, yeah.
right? Now, me maybe 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh, you think you're better than me?
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to make me feel bad? Or why
I
are
think you're better than
you
me.
think you're better than me? You think
Oh, that's hilarious.
you're trying to tell me what to do?
Ah, okay.
Like, so for example, being in that workshop with Abel and him sharing with me what he saw, an older version of me would have been like, this guy's a dickhead. Honestly, like that would have been
Okay.
the first thing. Like, look at him trying to like attack me as a
But he
female.
wasn't.
This is why I'm single. That would have been an old thought
Right.
process. But I was so appreciative in that moment of, oh my God, he actually is like emotionally intelligent enough to see where I'm at, um, and to call it forward. And he wasn't doing it in a way that was disrespectful or mean. He was just sharing with me exactly what he saw. And I didn't feel that defensiveness, right? And I think that's when you begin to know you're starting to heal or that you have healed is when
Mm.
something like
Mhm.
that happens and you don't get so super offended and defensive, like you're ready to go to war. Let me like, carry my torch to the end. I have to be right. Um, yeah, it wasn't like that at all. It came from, dude, like, thank you. Gratitude of thank you for fucking being honest with me because how many other people wouldn't have said that?
But see, they're also looking when it's the same like mine's in your relationship, right? I can ask you, you can ask me. There's nothing else, nothing I want of you but friendship, right? Because
Mhm.
I one of my other guests the other day said like she did a post where can men have friendship with women and not have wanting more out of it? And I'm like, absolutely. I have a
Mhm.
lot of them. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
have because I know where I stand. I know where my mind is now. If you was talking to a 25-year-old or 23 trying to do everything else and their mama and everything else, that'd be a different story. But now that you know this, right? Say I was your client as a
Mhm.
female, right? In one of your workshops,
Mhm.
right? How would it be if I coming to you with these certain problems like Carrie, why am I always attracted to this type of guy when I have this good guy on the side? But he doesn't know how to lead. But where is the confusion? Please explain that to
So when you say good guy, what do you mean by that? Like,
the boring guy. Like you said, the boring guy.
I um I would have them actually write out like like what is it they want to create in their relationship. Um and who am I? Like who? what is it in me that's attracted to this guy, right?
Okay.
Um, because I need to recognize the difference between being regulated and like the chaos, right? So if I can make a list of like how would I want in my perfect relationship, how do I want the man to show up, right? And then I get to look at how I'm showing up. And if this guy is boring and he's emotionally regulated, um well, emotionally regulated in my mind used to be boring. Now I'm like appreciative of that.
Mm, interesting.
Um
Interesting.
because I'm what I realized when I had two different types of men. I had like the boring guy, and then I had the guy that like got me like so like riled up. And it wasn't like
The
I'm not
chaos.
attracted to him, I'm attracted to the feeling he gives me. The boring guy
Wait,
isn't boring.
whoa.
He's stable, he's consistent, um, he's emotionally available, and my nervous system's like, what the fuck is this? Like Nick ever experienced this before.
Wait, repeat what you just said, right? This is cool. You know what? You were attracted to the chaos he brought to your nervous system, not
Yeah.
him.
No, not him at all. It's never
I
personal. It's never personal. It's always about my interpretation of it, right? And so when I'm
ah,
attracted, I wasn't attracted to him. I was attracted to the feeling that he brought, right? The energy that
interesting.
he brought. So, and that was why I wasn't attracted to the boring guy, and I labeled
Right.
him boring because stability, consistency, emotional availability is like, what is this? It's like another fucking language. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's what is this? What the
like, no, I don't know what to do with this.
right. But can you turn a boring guy into a leader without having the chaos, or would it be unattractive because you would be leading the relationship, not giving the man the helm?
I think the boring guy is the one that shows up anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like the boring guy
Yeah.
is the one that knows how to lead. And it's recognizing that my attraction, I
But you
used to think that, oh my God, I have to have all these butterflies and be like excited. And attraction isn't chemistry, it's like trauma. And it's my trauma choosing what feels familiar. So when I recognize that part, so that the fact that I'm attracted to the inconsistency,
okay.
right? That I had to work for attention and work for validation, work for the presence. And so boring feels wrong because it feels too fucking easy, too
Oh,
safe,
no
too
challenge.
available. And so
Mm,
I equate the anxiety with romance and the availability for boring as fuck. And I don't want you if you're boring as fuck because I think that that's not romantic. I think that's not love because I have this interpretation that I have to be on this high, that I have to feel these butterflies all the time, and that's not true at all. I'm
okay.
choosing the intensity over the intimacy.
So let me ask you this now, right?
Hmm.
So if he triggers parts of you that you've spent years protecting, like in your post, right?
Hmm.
How do you change that? Or how do you direct a man that, or how do you, as a female, as a woman, versus somebody that you might have found a man that can lead,
Okay.
but you start picking at his nuances. How does that like turn that? Because you spend years protecting all this crap, but you're actually the chaos, the behavior is what's attracted,
Right.
right? How do you deal with that from a female's point of view? And men, if you're listening, right, you might be able to get some tips.
So it's understanding what's really happening, that I'm choosing the intensity over the intimacy. Like the exciting guy is going to trigger my nervous system, but the
Okay.
boring guy is going to trigger my fear of intimacy because I can't even slow down long enough to be with me. That's why I want to be activated all the time and moving all the time and running around, right? Because it does not allow me to sit with me. Like the the exciting guy, I'm gonna call him the exciting guy. The
They
exciting
call them
guy,
Chads. They call them Chads.
Chaz,
They call them Chads out here.
he he keeps me activated,
Okay,
right?
Chads.
But the boring guy is the one that is really asking me to soften. And so it feels so fucking confusing for me in the beginning.
Oh, I see.
And because if he's boring or if he feels boring, it's because he's not activating my wounds. So this, and it's understanding that the stability is not boring, consistency is not boring, a man who shows up is not boring. Um, he's just not poking at me at my unhealed parts, right? Like that's all it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, yeah.
And
But
and the poking is, oh, I'm like, I think that's passion, right?
misinterpreted as
Misinterpretation. And that's all it
yeah.
is.
But it's okay. So now the difference, okay?
Mhm,
Here's where it gets kind of different, right? Now you've evolved into this person,
mhm,
right? And you know two sides. This is why me and you work so good together, right? Because we both seen two sides, upside down, backwards, all kind of different ways, right? When you evolve into this person and you notice it and you see some another female, another woman
mhm.
going down this path, how do you explain that to her when she hasn't gone through it?
You're
How?
speaking another language. Like there's no there. I think of the people that tried to share this with me in the very beginning, and it was like speaking another language. Like I didn't understand what they were
Okay.
saying. So I had to choose this work for me. Um, because when I chose myself and when I began to regulate my nervous system, regulate myself, um, do my own work, and that began to shift my identity. So my body stopped craving this adrenaline, like this adrenaline rush. And I wanted leadership. I was like, oh, I want leadership. I want consistency. I want
That's
safety.
huge.
And then the boring
Safety
guy
leadership.
becomes sexy as fuck because he actually shows up. But
Is that maturity? Maybe.
it's doing the work, and I think it's both. I honestly
Is
think
it
it's both.
both? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's both. I think it's both because I guess because different phase of life, say, you crave certain things, maybe you got it out of your system, maybe you did some things that you didn't want anymore. And then, it's where you're looking for the security, you're looking for the emotional availability, you're looking for the involvement, the leveling up, both you putting you guys self together, like how you and Abel push each other up to become better people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Without being the trauma negatizing thing, like say the Chads of the world would be, because they just want to do what they do. You mean just want to have sex and all this other stuff and just make chaos and everything else. It won't make a difference. Now, you put another quote that got me, right? Believe his behaviors, not his promises. What were some of the what are some of the behaviors, the qualities that men with leadership roles attract women? It's for you guys out there.
Well, for one, when he responds back to calls, or when he follows through and he says he's going to call back or he's going to text you, perfect. When he plans the dates, when he communicates, when
Nice.
he leads, like all of that is emotional maturity. Um, I remember in the very beginning when I was first dating Abel, we would go. I remember we went out to like this tapas restaurant that was like, you ordered like a bunch of like little plates, right? I'd never been to this place before, but I'm like looking on the menu like of what I want, and he's like, I'm just gonna order for you. Now I have to tell you that like something so simple like that. Now I'm like, oh my God, fucking thank you. I don't have to think about it. But
Oh,
back then I was like, don't don't try to fucking tell me what to do and what to eat. Are you trying to control what I eat? Are you, because remember, like all the thoughts, right? Like, are you telling me that I'm fat, that I need to work out? Like, you have no idea the thoughts that,
holy
like,
smokes. Are you
oh
serious?
my God, the thoughts that go through my head.
Everything
Like,
went through all that head just like that? All because
yes,
I went to the restaurant, I ordered for you.
yeah.
But it was
Now
gentlemanly, like, right? That's masculine. That's cool though.
it is, and I'm even more appreciative of it today because he's like so familiar with all of my food allergies. So it's
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna order for me. Cool. I don't have to fucking deal with this shit. Um, and I'm grateful for that. But in the beginning, it was just when you've never had anyone do something like that for you, and
Oh, I
not
see.
from a place of control, but it was
Yes,
just like,
no.
I want you to genuinely have an amazing experience. I come here all the time. I know it's amazing. And
Right.
I just want to share this moment with you. That's a different energy.
Right. I didn't realize. So if you're a woman that got butt put in this situation, and let's say I'm ordering for you.
I'm
And you
telling
know,
you.
all these things like you think I'm fat, you dress size, I gotta wait, there's something you have to go work with Miss Carrie in her workshop because she knows how to get out of it. Because I didn't realize how many thoughts, like when you see some of those memes, right? You see a guy talk, the guy says something, and then the girl says, "I got to think about this. How I'm going to pay for Christmas. How I'm going to do. How I'm going to make this. What I'm going to do for my family." I didn't realize that that's what happens when a man is just trying to lead,
Yes.
right?
I mean, at least for me, I like there's all
I
these
mean,
conflicting like the thoughts that go in through my head and on any given day in a 24-hour period within all of our interactions throughout the day go from, you know, and like it used to be. It used to be terrible, but like they can go from, oh my God, he's ignoring me to, oh my God, he's not attracted to me to, oh my God, he made dinner or he made coffee. Oh my, or he made hot
is it
tea. Like
this
how
much of a
amazing.
roller coaster?
It can be, absolutely. But like recognizing those
Okay.
today and like, oh, those are just like thoughts. It's like an old, because your brain is so wired to like create the same habits that you have for many years. Listen, I've had over 48 years of experience of these insane thoughts going through my head. They're going to
Uh,
come up. There's nothing wrong with them, but what the how I respond to them today is completely different. It's just like, oh, I just like let them go out. Like they come in, they roll out. It's not a big deal.
let's end with this one though, right? This is the quote of the day, right? On
Hmm.
leadership. If you're a man in leadership role with your woman in your relationship, your starting relationship, men will say a lot, but their actions will snitch every time. Explain that from both a man's side, what men could do so they don't do it, and from a female side, interpretation.
You know, if
I
you're a
can't help
man
it.
in leadership, your words mean nothing if your actions don't match.
True.
That's the truth.
100.
Because a real leader doesn't just talk; his actions like follow through. Like with everything, his actions match what he is saying. So, and I think that goes for both of us, for both parties. It's not
Both
just a
parties.
man. It's just, am I in integrity with the things that I'm saying? Am I out of alignment? That's the quickest way to know if somebody's out of alignment. If they're saying a bunch of stuff and they're not following through with it. And
100% true.
yeah, that's the easiest way to find out.
Now, women's interpretation, right? This is the coolest part, right? I can ask Carrie this kind of stuff. I try to ask Andrea this. She'll give me some off the wall, some answer that I couldn't record. She's gonna be
That you couldn't record.
that I couldn't get it on video, right? Right. So it's like from a female's point of view, right? When you see a man just keep talking, the behavior is not, but he says he's a leadership role. Should they run or try and fix it? 'Cause
Oh my God. Like when he's talking and not following through.
yes.
Oh my God, get the fuck out of there. Like seriously. Absolutely.
Right.
Um, because what it's like to meet a man who sounds like the whole package is like he
Right.
talks a big game, he says
Right.
all the right things, right? Like he knows exactly how to articulate a sentence together to make you think he's that guy. But leadership is not in the language at all, it's actually in his lifestyle. So when his actions
Different.
don't match, they totally expose him like long before his words ever do. So
Mm.
like yeah, like get the fuck out of there.
Right. 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 Right.
Run, run.
I mean, ultimately, though, do women look for leadership or do they want to lead?
Well, I think every woman is different. And I do believe that a lot of my clients, women that are in these positions of power, high achieving,
Yeah.
I think the reality is this, like, they want a man to lead, but they don't know how
Deep down.
to, deep down, like they don't know, like deep down, they definitely want a man to lead. But it's like, when I'm at work leading all day long
Correct.
and I come home and I'm supposed to like soften and allow like allow him to lead me. And I think one of the things that really supported me was I had a little ritual that I created for myself when I would literally go to work and then I would come home and I would change
Okay.
clothes. I had a mentor tell me change into a dress, and I'm like, the hell? Like, really? And she's like, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Like,
That
as
makes
a
sense.
ritual, this is like
Yeah.
you changing into your feminine. And that allowed me to like differentiate between the two. Otherwise, I was coming home and I was staying in that same energy.
Right, right, right. Because I mean that's the thing I have with Andrea too. Sometimes she cannot, you know, distinguish when she comes home. She's on the plane, she's flying with unruly passengers, like people want to get kicked off. She's like, you mean she's a flight attendant. Then she just lashes out, right? I said, you're gonna have to keep that in check once in a while because the boys see that. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's when it starts affecting the thing. Then I have to remind her that, you're not on the plane no more. And
Yeah.
I used to make that mistake from me just not carrying things from work to home. And now that I'm with the kids mostly, it's just, you know, it's that's part of leadership also and recognizing those things.
Oh, absolutely.
But one of those things that it goes to show that the growth you can have between your relationship, your personal life, and having control of all of it, even if you're in the beginning stages, there's always room to grow regardless of what happens, right? Now let's
Always.
we said we're gonna end this like three times
I
ago.
know.
Well, you have a workshop going on for women, right? Going into 2026. Do you have something that you're creating, offering, or did you launch it yet?
I have not launched yet. I do have a mini mine coming up called The
A
One
mini
That Got
mind. Okay.
Away.
Okay. But now, if you want to get in touch with Miss Carrie, if you're looking for insights, you're looking for things, please reach out her in social media. She's on Instagram. She's on YouTube. We're making secret. It's a secret. You're gonna get both of us in a master class pretty soon. I've already made this, but we're gonna end it with that. 2026. You're gonna see a lot coming out of Boundaries and Brotherhood from sales, AI, systems, confidence, self-validation, relationship buildings, all of this is in place, guys. But if you want to work with her one-on-one, please do. Right? Guys, it's been a journey, but we went over so many different things and we blew through like 40. This is what happens when I don't see my friend for like 3 weeks.
I
Guys,
know, right?
she went to Grand Canyon. I did flat. We did a lot of different stuff. Guys, it's Gordon Watt from Boundaries and Brotherhood. I'll see you guys next time. Carrie, end the show.
Ah, learn to communicate your desires, not your directives.
Ooh, let's talk about
I'm going to
that.
end on
Wait,
that.
wait, we do it. She goes, ooh. Oh, perfect. Boop.
All right, let me get out of that. Okay, cool.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so what I did, right? I
No,
got
what'd
another,
you do?
I got another show, but